coming on the walk. Great Rod isn't. I tell y'all, I was feeling mighty low when I came down here. But that guitar started talking to me. Come walk with me. Come walk with me. I said, okay, I'll come walk with you. Yeah, I said, come walk with me. No problem. Say, I'll walk, I'll talk, I'll walk and talk. Because if I stop walking now, you cut me up. Yeah. And I'm wondering why the diabetes organization just took my money and never sent me nothing. And I'm talking about saving toes and feet. That ain't the business they in. Get on your bike, get your chairs, get your weights, get your mat, line up if you're walking on the wall. Or walking in place. I did that when we was in Nevada. I'm walking, y'all. Yeah. Trying to hear this guitar. Talk to me, Mr. Ron Jackson. My 7-string guitar. Cause if I stop walking now, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Yeah. Who'd have thunk that would come from this old label? Born in blood inmate criminal. I'm old to make criminal. Woohoo. Yeah. Come on, let's start, y'all. Go ahead. We've been going a little over. Of course, what I put in the thing I like to go with. I wanted to show y'all that when I roller skate, it's these back muscles that become stronger and helps me with standing erect and pulling in my core. It's my core muscles. Oh, sorry. My core muscles. But when I go roller skating, when I wobble back like that, that's lining up these muscles. I don't know, I don't want to say igniting, waking them up, but that's why I'm going to keep on roller skating. I know there's chiropractors and stuff, but I tell y'all, I don't see how someone who agrees that I'm a inmate criminal, though I have never, my family, never did anything against this penal colony. We were never part of a uprising on this penal colony. Nothing. We were under the delusion that it was a country. So, I don't want them touching on me. How can a people that don't think you are dignified allow you to die in dignity? It's impossible. So, we're not going to go that route. I just don't want them touching me. The air they breathe out, I don't want to breathe in. So, I don't do stuff with doctors and stuff. They still try to figure out if I'm an animal or a human being. But y'all say they the best in the intelligence and all that kind of stuff, but go figure. So, I was just, okay, let me tell you how I was bummed out a little bit this morning. I was like, you know, why couldn't my mother have come to me and said, they would say, oh, we can't get ahead. They won't let us get ahead. Everything we touch, they take away. And I just say, well, why Mom, they do that? And why? They said, oh, shut up, stop asking so many questions. Just shut up, stop asking so many questions. So I had to internalize my question. That's why when I always went to school and they said, you need to ask questions, you need to ask questions. I'm like, no, African Americans don't ask any questions because they don't want to know the answer. Because they already know the answer and they don't want to know, they don't want to hear it. So I said, why couldn't she have just said, child, we ran from Virginia to New York, and besides the accents, there's nothing different. I can't find a job when I go looking for one. All I can get is housekeeping work, but then I got moved out of that. Can't go to school because Virginia won't release no paperwork and stuff. The penal state of Virginia. And so, and I said, why? I said, why, Mommy? She said, because this is a penal colony. And over 600 years, I know it's hard to believe, I know. But over 600 years ago, your ancestors were brought to this penal colony as prisoners of war. Yeah, they was fighting with Europe, Spain, Portugal, the Brits, apparently everybody, all the way heading into Germany. So they started putting them in penal colonies. Whenever they would capture the Africans, they would send them away from Africa to the penal colonies like Jamaica. France would send theirs to Haiti. Spain would send theirs to like the Dominican Republic, Puerto Rico. Portuguese would send their prisoners of war to Brazil, Argentina. I think that was Spain also. Could be wrong, but I think it was Spain. And that's where their African prisoners of war were sent. And I realized, this is my mother, I wish she told me, I realized when we ran out of Virginia, that vile place, hanging us, starving us, doing all kind of everything, and came to New York, the only difference is the accents. So we got to go further. We got to go further. I wish we would have fled. The closest place would be Canada, or even if we had went down to South America, at least we would be off what the ancestors keep vibing to me. That's kind of bummed me out this morning. They started calling it the Rock. Excuse me. The Rock is, I can't think of that penitentiary. I think it's, oh God, Alcatraz. The Rock. But this penal colony, so this one name was like, you're on the Rock. So it kind of pissed me off a little bit. Oh, but they were right. When you pull back the covers, you just got to keep pulling off for every layers, I should say. For every layer underneath it is another reveal. And if she had said that, maybe I'd be a Canadian or someplace in South America right now and not even know to talk to you about anything about African Americans in this penal colony. And then I wondered about Marcus Garvey when they was prancing around and parading around in New York, sending us on a ship to Africa. Many didn't make it. We've yet to get any letters from the ones that went. So he paraded around and he talked about what is it? Oh, like colonies. How the Brits went around. They call it colonization. Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Our colonizers. He was walking around saying, we African Americans are colonized. We should go to Africa. Like I said, if y'all know somebody who got a letter from somebody who got on one of them boats with Marcus Garvey, could y'all share that? Start your own YouTube and bring the letters on and read it to us. So I was wondering, why didn't he just say this is a penal colony? Our ancestors were enslaved on this penal colony. I came from Jamaica. Why didn't he say, and Jamaica is a penal colony that has become a country. It has become a country. It's hard, and they still fighting the game because it was a penal colony. And it's hard to make it into a country. Why? Because it's a whole program of other people. They're not aware they're free yet. For surely, if it is known throughout of this penal colony, I really can't imagine people flocking here. But it's the Matrix. And the Matrix part of it is the USA, and it's the Lady Liberty, and everybody is welcome. Whew. So, I try to get that to my daughter, but a little too late. Because I didn't understand it. I couldn't understand my employment issues, housing, all that kind of stuff. And like I told y'all, once the ancestors laid it out for me, and they said, and I gotta thank my daughter. Remember, I didn't like looking at them prison things. Oh my goodness. We would sit down, it's just that we had such a good time. And we would go through the prison things and the water and how the prison and the things and the hours in and the hours out in the gym and then she went on an international, this guy that goes to the worst prisons. Oh, but I would sit there and look at it with her. And then I didn't want to look at it anymore. It was all too familiar, and I kept saying, but I ain't never been in jail. I have never been in jail. In the prisons, they had certain sections for certain things. On the penal colony, we're sectioned. Red line, structured move. Just like in the prisons, the brick and mortar prisons. I didn't know that at the time, but I was like, whoa. How am I going to relate? How can I relate? I've broken no laws. I've done nothing wrong. They're in prison, the brick and mortar prison, because they're inmate criminals. They rob, they kill, they steal, they lie. Why was me and my family in the prison? And then I didn't want to look at them no more. I didn't want to look at no more prison, barracks, the worst prison on the planet, the best prison in the planet, the most secure, high security, super model V8 prison. I just couldn't look at him anymore. I was so affected, and I kept saying, why am I affected? I've broken no laws. And then, when the orange stain, the worst warden ever, started sinning, I was like, why are these white people coming down from the mountains and the hills with their guns? And why we ain't got no guns to come down with? And then I heard in Chicago, there was a big gang shootout. Guns and guns and guns. And I said, wait a minute. We don't got guns like them white people that came down from the mountains to watch us at the voting poll, to walk the streets to put us in our place. But we got enough guns for the kids to shoot each other up. Funny that. But I know it was. They were dropped. They drop them. Every time the prisons run low, they know that these kids, they know the gangs. And they know who's beefing with who. So they say, look at here. I can get you some guns. But the kids don't know that it's like a low number of prisons, especially the private prisons. And they want to fill them up. But that's what they do in a penal colony. Hey, let's get some water. Save your toes and feet. Yeah. Cause when you walk with me, you can eat the food you eat. Yeah. I'm walking, y'all, trying to save my feet and toes. I said I'm walking now. Yeah. Trying to save my feet and toes. Cause if I stop walking now, they'll cut me up until I'm just a nose. Hey, is that a quickie or what? I'm walking, y'all. Is that a quickie or what? I think I'm getting an assistant, and I have to interview tomorrow morning. So I'm trying to keep everything timely. Like you don't wait till the day. Like I'm getting prepared to do the walk on time, do my work on time, and then be prepared. Let's do this. And then I'm trying to tell you, the vibrations are strong. And then I married the only African that had no intention nor desire to take me to Ghana. A Ghanaian. He had no intentions, no desire, no focus to take me to Ghana. Nor his daughter. The son he did take is dead. That's another story for another day. And, no. He didn't go to Ghana. But I just didn't know that everything I read, everything I studied, but I was like, just make it make sense. I'm 65. I'm getting ready to leave this earth. Listen, I'm only asking to be put down easy. And for me, put down easy is the understanding of the questions from my childhood. When my mother said, they just ain't gonna let us have nothing. And she cried. I said, what, Mommy? Why ain't gonna let us have nothing? Or she said, they don't want us to get no job. They want to keep us down. Why they want to keep us down? What do we do? Oh. And I'm 65, and y'all, the separation of man and energy is not a fear for me. And I got that answer. I'm on a penal colony. So when I see that now, what did they say? One of the wardens in the penal state of Texas and Florida and stuff, they're doing the rules. They're moving like the penal colony laws say. They're blocking diversity. They're saying it's a gay agenda, but they go back to the books. The Hatfields and McCoys, they don't come up with anything new. Okay? So, no, it's not that. It's not the gay agenda. Because in nature, without all these cults, these men would be running around hunching on each other like crazy. And guess what? Society would just go on and mind their goddamn business. But on this penal colony, they can use that to stop us. You see? We don't want no gays. We don't want... No. We really don't want no blacks. We say gay. It's okay. And they said, no abortion. Keep life going. But we don't mean the born, we don't mean the born and blood African Americans who ancestors 600 fucking years ago were brought to this penal colony and worked as enslaved people. First imprisoned by the king, then enslaved when the wardens took over. Because that's something else about your 4th of July lie. I'm not walking, because if I walk on the 4th of July, they will take all my pages. Facebook would not only put me in jail, but in Supermax. Supermax. So I ain't walking on the 4th of July, lying ass, Lionville, lying scumbags. I'm not doing it. Because when I asked the ancestors, I just feel the vibe like, okay, so I said, and you've heard me say it a few times as well. Well, at the Revolutionary War, why did they free the slaves when they kicked the king out? For a long time. Like almost every 4th of July. Would I have to say, yay. I said, but they used to swap slaves on the 4th of July. They used to do it before it was named the 4th of July. But now they're doing it on the 4th of July. Why would they still be trading slaves on the 4th of July if they kicked the king off the penal colony and took it over? Tell my man and energy going to separate with ease, honey. Other than the pain that it takes to do the separation. Let me tell you something. Lionville. No, they didn't. The king moved his governors and he left wardens on this penal colony. I often wondered when I was a child and I would hear the news and politics with African Americans. My family, they stayed up on because they said if you slip around here, the next thing you know, there'll be a bill passed saying you could be hung on the fruit from a tree on Saturdays. So they watched the news, and so did I. And I could not understand why we wasn't free when you get the king out. Oh, they said, no. Y'all are the ones we went over a roundup. Let me tell y'all some truth about that roundup. Back in the day, our ancestors, they ruled England. I told you, we're tearing through France like a madman. You can see how basically the continent of Africa is a boat ride away from the islands. Britain is an island. So they got sick of them. So once, as empires do, or dynasties do, they get overthrown. So they threw the Africans over here. But then they started saying, let's go on the continent and get them before they come and get us. So that's why they went on the island and gathered them up and started putting them on the penal colonies. On the penal colonies. And they made it so, that's why you look at Africa now, I don't even know if they got luxury boats. They got planes, but I don't even think they got luxury boats. They may have, because Europe made sure to strip them down to nothing and took their people. When I say Europe, I'm talking about Portugal, Spain, Britain, Germany. Who else? And them Dutch people that they say, that story they told, the Dutch had ships, okay? And they transported the prisoners of war to the colony. And the colony that they did was the penal colony the penal state of New York, New Jersey, Connecticut. And that's where their participation. And then they dipped out. But they was making money doing transportation. And I can't tell y'all, my blood pressure went down so much. So much. You know, when you think you're in the land of peace, but every time you turn around, it's not peaceful. But then everywhere you hear, you're in the land of peace. But then everywhere you look, everywhere you go, it's not peaceful. So then you say, well, is it me? They're telling me it's the land of peace, but I see no peace. I experience no peace. But they say it's peace. That's the USA. They say they're a country, but they're not. They're an arm. They're a penal arm. Okay? The penal arm. These are wardens. That's why, okay, let's go. That's why when we used to do the current events, all we used to see was politicians being caught in bed with hookers, politicians, um, selling drugs, doing bondage, selling top secrets, sell all kind of fuck shit. And I was like, so now I've been voting all these years. And I'm like, holy guacamole. I ain't got no reparation. I ain't got no 40 acres and a mule. And then I look and see who got money from this penal colony. And of course, the Japanese did. Though that $20,000 doesn't make them anything for not only putting them in a concentration camp but blowing up the freaking country. The Jews, they got when they came over, and I was like, why are we responsible for that? I don't know. But we can't get no reparation. And it's because somebody else controls the purse. And that purse will never be open for us. That would give us economic freedom. This penal colony, the whole reason for it being here and running is because of us. They'll give a few of us. They said there's like 35, 40 million African Americans. They will give 1 million African Americans that wealth beyond dreams or all that stuff. But and they are still also inmate criminals, because the minute they break the law, whoosh. Okay, let's do 5. Whew. Suck it in. Go on, man. Tuck in your elbow. Now up, no down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And one's a good look. No. If you ain't in the 1 million that they giving it to, you're shit out of luck. Tuck in your gut. Straighten your back. Neither up nor down like a pump. 1, 2, 3. Oh, I did. Oh, 10 I did. Now I gotta go back. Hold on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. Like, comment, share. Tell an auntie, tell an uncle, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe. Thanks for coming on the walk. I don't know. I'll tell y'all about the remarks that I got from folks on my Juneteenth things that I put up. Now, I know on this penal colony day, there's 1 day and it's over. I did 7 days, but I used to do the whole month. How can I think of people who stayed around and lived long enough so I could have life? How can I think of people? By saying I love them, and I love them madly. Hi, I'm Vicki, and I'm coming to you live from the penal colony. Thanks for coming on the walk. Like, comment, share. Tell an uncle, tell an auntie, tell a cousin, tell a friend. Subscribe. See you tomorrow.